Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast. The bad.
You want to move on to the bad?
Always.
Okay, I'll start the bad. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with the Ravens.
Oh God, yeah. Mainly the receiver. Sorry.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That's where I'm going with it. Poor Lamar Jackson. I think he had like 7 drop balls. And one guy, he did kind of throw it behind Flowers on one play where Flowers ended up like stumbling and falling down, and he could have threw a better ball there. But all the balls that he threw that were catchable, they all dropped anyway. They had this game in the palm of their hands, and they kept shooting themselves in the foot over and over and over again. I couldn't believe it. The Steelers, as a putrid as their offense has been, they're 3-2 right now, and I think they're on top of the division. I'm just like, how? So anyway, the Ravens get the bad for me because that's a game they should have won, and their receiving core just I don't know. That was not a great performance.
Yeah, no, that I was watching some of the highlights from that game, and I'm just like, I get it. You traded for Odell, he's injured. You're trying to get receivers for Lamar, but you're doing a really bad job because what helps with being a wide receiver is catching the football.
Mm-hmm.
These are catchable passes that he is throwing that they're just dropping.
Yeah.
So I just don't get it. It's not a good look at all.
Yeah, and I like some of these receivers they got. I just like Flowers. He just had a bad game, a very bad game. I would say that Aguilar, we know he drops the ball every now and then, but he missed like a touchdown ball pass that like literally he's closing his hands. The ball's already like out the other side. It's like, dude, what are you doing? And then Bateman had a touchdown ball that was thrown right at him, and he dropped it. And I'm just like, oh man, and I like Bateman, but yeah, you're right. It's like they keep trying to get these wide receivers, but it doesn't seem like they're picking the right guy. I would say it might be just like a one-off. I think Zay Flowers has had a good season so far, but I don't know. Just a rough game for sure. That's that we can agree on.
Oh yeah.
What's your bad for week 5 of the NFC?
Carolina Panthers.
Oh, did they?
They looked awful. Their offensive line looked awful. Their running game looks awful. Their passing game looks awful. Their defense looked awful. And they're only my bad. But they could have easily been worse. Yes, the Lions played a good game, but I mean, what looked good for Carolina? What did they do well? Their uniforms are nice.
Yeah.
They sure showed up to the field. They had the game until it started. So like they were right in until the opening kickoff. Like, I mean, come on, like they did not play good. Bryce Young needs help. He threw 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He only had 16 incompletions, so it wasn't like the world's worst game, and he's a rookie and he'll get better. I understand that, but they need to get some help for the guy. Offensive line, rushing, something. They did not look good. I feel like he was under pressure all game. I feel like the only way they started scoring was when the Lions were playing more of a prevent style defense than a what they were doing earlier, as we'd say, play not to lose. So I don't know what they need to do, but they got to get something. And the issue is they traded their assets so they could get Bryce Young. So they need to figure out how to get this really quick, or else Bryce Young is going to develop into some really bad habits.
Yeah, I think they screwed up by getting rid of Wilkes and hiring Frank Reich, right? Because like, I don't know. I don't know if he's a good head coach. I don't get it. How they were so much more fun of a team to watch last year. I know you're not a Panthers, you're in the Bucs. Like they were gritty, they'd run the ball. Like last year. Yeah. Last year, the Lions and Panthers, when they played, they blew out the Lions. It was actually the opposite result. I don't know if you remember that. Last year, they like ran all over the Lions, and this year, the Lions kind of got their revenge. By the way, interesting stat for the Lions is This is the first time since 1950 where in the first 5 games, the Lions have not allowed 100 yards rushing from the opposing team. So interesting. That's an interesting stat. But for the Panthers right now, you're right. Nothing to build off of. And man, if you're a Chicago Bears fan right now, you just got to be swimming in draft picks because you're going to have like 2 top 5 picks at the end of this year. And who knows, maybe somebody will give you something if you don't want Fields anymore. It gives you something for Fields. They're in a really good spot right now. So I don't know. I'm with you. The Panthers are just, I don't know if I would even describe them as fun to watch right now, which is sort of sad.
What's fun to watch about them? I was watching that game and I was tempted to turn it off because it's just like if it wasn't for the fact that I like the Lions and it was fun watching them beat up on an inferior team, but they look like they should be drafted number 1 overall again.
Yep.
Granted, they traded, but they don't have their pick, so they can't get the pieces they need to get it. So they have to figure something out, and I don't know how they're going to.
Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.